goals. Visiting Holy Cross Crusaders, 3-9, 1-5 in the Patriot League. Number 4 is Sean Wilkinson, a sophomore attack. Number 16 is Kevin Lux, a freshman attack. Number 23, a freshman midfielder, is Mark Berman. 27 is Clay Harmon, who's a junior attack. 29, the team's goal-scoring leader with 23 on the season. The junior midfielder is Terry McKenna. 38 at defense and a freshman is Jack McGovern. 39, Trevor Lang, the sophomore defense. Number 42 is Frank Gall, midfielder, and a junior. Number 44 is Reid Kennedy, and in goal for the Crusaders, saving about 42% of the shots, 13.6 goals a game. The sophomore from Newport Beach, California, is Michael Ortlieb. For the Raiders in the home whites here today, 7-4 overall, 3-3 in the Patriot League, still in the running to get a third or fourth seed in the newly expanded Patriot League tournament. Let's get to the starters. First, number 1 is Cameron Williams, the sophomore playing midfield today. Number 5 in goal is Brandon Burke. We'll talk about him in a second. Kevin Adams, the sophomore attack. Where's the number 7? Number 10 is Matt Clarkson, the junior midfielder. 11 is Eric Foote, the sophomore mid. 13 at D is the sophomore Leo Storos. 23 is John Baker, the sophomore D. 27, Brendan McCann, the senior attack. 37 is Bobby Lawrence, captain, senior defense. And number 43, the Tawarton watch lister, Ryan Walsh. In goal, Reed, today is Brandon Burke. How's your assessment of his season so far, his first campaign as a Raider? Reed, you catch that? I'm sorry. Brandon Burke, how's his first season been going?
Whose first season, sorry?
Burke. Brandon Burke?
Brandon Burke is having an absolutely sensational freshman season. Been a big-time help to the Raiders' defense. A big part of the reason why they're the number 6 ranked defense in the country.
So Burke, 109 saves on the year. He's saving about 57% of the shots coming in at him. 7.7 goals given up. And yeah, talk about this Colgate D. 6th in the country in terms of scoring defense. Tied with North Carolina, 7.73 goals given up per game. It's really kept the Raiders in some of these games, especially some of the ones where they've gone up against high-powered offenses.
When you talk about a guy like Brandon Burke, you can't just limit his contributions to stopping balls from going in the net. He also is a big part of the reason why the Raiders have been able to clear the ball. Throws great outlet passes. I don't think I've seen him throw an errant pass yet this year, which is saying something from the goalie position. An incredibly tough thing to do.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of poise, especially, again, for a freshman. Certainly something you're looking out of your freshman goalkeeper. Head coach of the Raiders in his third season is Mike Murphy, assisted by Michael Abbott and Stephen Toomey. Matt Abbott as well on the bench. For the Crusaders, head coach is Jim Morrissey in his fourth season, assisted by Justin Hager and John Carroll. Let's take a second here for the national anthems, and then we'll get you back to this Patriot League cross action on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise and join us as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem, performed for us this afternoon by Colgate student Morgan Lipman.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting, gave proof through the night that our flag. Yes. Star-spangled
right, so just about to get started here at the newly named Crown Field at Andy Kerr Stadium here in Hamilton. Great to have you with us on the Patriot League Network. So if we can talk about the Patriot League standings real quick. You've got Loyola 10-1, 6-0 in the league, standing on top. Army close behind, 5-1. And then Lehigh, who Colgate lost to last week, at 5-2. The Raiders at 3-3, tied with Bucknell. And then Navy at 3-4. Holy Cross, BU, and Lafayette all on 1-5 records, propping up the league. And Reid, Colgate still with the chance to finish as high as third. Second would be a tough one. They'd need a lot of results to go their way. May even be out of reach depending on what the tiebreakers are.
Yeah, I think Loyola, clearly the big bully on the top of the hill right now, having a big first year in the Patriot League. But I think any team in the Patriot League could beat any team on any given Saturday, and it just goes to show the depth that this league has been able to accrue over the past few years, getting a lot of talented players from all over the country. It's really been a pleasure sight to see and watch these games.
Yeah, and you've seen Patriot League teams really feasting on each other and beating each other up as the year has gone by. But a big match for Colgate here today. The Raiders can clinch a playoff spot with a W here. Holy Cross is out with a loss, and it will all start from the face-off dot. It will be Alex Keneally taking on Ben Williams.
Didn't have to do much work on that one.
So first attempt on the offensive side of things goes to Colgate. Keneally's had a very good year so far, winning just about 60% of all the draws that he takes. Definitely something Colgate is looking forward to exploiting as this Patriot League season winds down.
And number 48, Ben Williams for Holy Cross, going to have his hands full today with Alex Keneally at the face-off X, having a big year. But will be definitely an interesting matchup to watch as this game continues.
So Colgate first possession of the day. Here's Foote. Had a good timeout last time against Lehigh, but he was one of few Raiders to do so. 24 turnovers for Colgate in the match down in PA, as that shot is just wide of the cage, but Colgate will back it up.
Look for this Raiders offense to get going early. They were not happy with their results against Lehigh. Oh!
And they get it going right off
there
the bat there. Brendan McCann, just as you were saying it, getting it going early.
Brendan McCann, tremendous play for behind the net there. Sees he has a matchup he wanted to exploit, doesn't even hesitate, puts it in the back of the net, and then gets the crowd involved, conducting with a brilliant celebration. Absolutely spectacular play by number 27, Brendan McCann.
So McCann draws first blood, 14:02 showing on the clock here. That's his 15th of the year. Pep Band is here, and they love it. And probably a bit more work for the Pep Band today, playing the fight song after each goal. And Keneally comes up with another one.
Good start for Alex Keneally.
So Keneally goes backwards with it. You find Storos to Burke. And Storos once more with it. So Keneally wins two faceoffs and gets a ground ball to his credit there.
That was an important first goal for this Raiders offense. A lot of people questioning their effectiveness after the last two games, being able to put up just 7 and 8 goals respectively. Definitely going to be important for them to get going early here, get their confidence back, rolling into the playoffs coming up.
And a big part of that goal scoring issue, I think, is the shutdown play of defenses on Ryan Walsh, who was on the ball a few seconds earlier. Hasn't scored in 2 games. Had a career high in caused turnovers with, I believe, 4 last week against Lehigh. So still trying to get himself involved, but Walsh has been shut down of late. Let's see if he can get going today.
I think Ryan has had to make a tough adjustment from being, the complimentary guy behind Peter Baum to the focal point of the offense, and all defenses are keying in on Ryan Walsh. And he's done a great job, but it's definitely a lot of pressure on his shoulders to put up production every single game for this Raider offense. And he's coming into his own. I'm sure he's going to have a heck of a finish to this season.
So second line out here for the Raiders. For the mids, here's McCann once more. Tries to wrap around, finds a man. The shot is saved well by Ortlieb.
Brendan is in the zone right now, really feeling his offensive game, shots and passes. That was a great look to Tyler Rigo, just unable to capitalize and get that in the back of the net.
So Will Weber with the ground ball pickup, they're going to credit there. But a good save from Ortlieb getting down low to knock that one up in the air. And here come the Crusaders.
Looks like an offside call. Oh.
So the Holy Cross coaching staff not happy with that. Jim Morrissey down there letting the referees know exactly what he thinks about that call. And Colgate gets a bit fortunate there on the clear as the ball's deflected out of play off of a Crusader stick. So Colgate will get a bit of a sub package in there. The referee, again, talking to Jim Morrissey down here. I think I'd rather have the ref watching the game.
You know, the Colgate midfield has a lot of athletes, and sometimes in a riding situation, it's confusing when these Raiders seem like they're all over the field, causing offside play by Holy Cross right there.
So another offensive possession for the Raiders. Here's Cameron Williams. Walsh off the pick from Williams is getting the double team.
And you see right there, Walsh just blanketed by two guys immediately as soon as he touches the ball. It'd be tough for any person to be able to handle that kind of pressure every single play.
So that's a wild shot from McCann. Soaring out of play, it'll be backed up by Holy Cross, and the Crusaders get it back with 11 minutes just about left in this first quarter. 0 for 1 on the clear attempts so far today. Make that 1 for 2 now, it looks like, as the Crusaders settle into the half-court offense, so to speak. This is Kyle Cadlick.
Colgate defense getting their first real test here against this Holy Cross offense. Let's see if they can continue their near dominance they've had against Patriot League opponents this season.
So that was Wilkinson being defended by Bobby Lawrence. Colgate owns the all-time series with these Crusaders. 23-1 are the Raiders. The first win for Holy Cross coming in 2010.
The Raiders take a lot of pride in their records against these Patriot League opponents. They're not going to want to drop one here and have that blemish on their resume.
Great pickup there by Burke as Burke streaks forward to get that ball into the stick of McCann. Well done by McCann coming forward to help out his goaltender. So give the ground ball there to Burke.
Heads up play by Brendan, ready there to help his goalie who's far out of the net, outside his comfort zone. Nice clear for the Raiders.
So Colgate benefits from an aggressive D, causing another turnover there. And Cameron Williams goes to work here. 1-0 to the Raiders here in this first quarter of play. Glad you can join us on the Patriot League Network, which of course is powered by Campus Insiders. It's spring coming, as they say here in Hamilton.
And you can really feel spring coming on Colgate's campus. The whole energy of the campus really seems to shift when
Williams
the sun comes
with a
out.
drive. Sorry to interrupt there, as Ortlieb saw that all the way. Maybe not the best shot from a bit of distance there, but nothing necessarily wrong with getting shots on target.
Decent shot there by Cam Williams. Looked like he had the space to let one go. Goalie was just up to the task there. Nice save by Michael Ortlieb.
So Matt Smith now on the ball. And Terry McKenna. McKenna, the leading goal scorer for these Crusaders, 23 on the campaign. And Reid, when you've got your leading goal scoring coming from a midfield line, what is that saying about your attack? Or do you think it's just a different way of playing it, different strategy perhaps?
I think more than anything it says a lot about Terry McKenna as a player. He's been a long-time contributor for this Holy Cross offense. Kevin Boyle is going to be a great matchup on him. It's going to be interesting to see how Kevin decides to defend McKenna attacking the net.
Here's Berman. Clarkson playing defense on him, and Holy Cross slowing it down here, getting the right personnel out there. Let's see what the gents in purple can conjure here. Down 1-0. Just about 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Here is Berman again.
Matt Clarkson looking good on defense there, keeping his man down the side. That's what you got to do as a defensive midi.
Here is Boyle on McKenna, as you said. Be out of play, but recovered by the Crusaders. Spin move there, but not getting to the cage was Harmon. And here is Berman once more. Frank Gall there. So Holy Cross spreading the ball around. No shots yet.
It's a good defensive set for the Raiders. I don't think they've slid once yet. Holy Cross just unable to win any of their individual matchups, and that's why Colgate able to create a turnover right there.
So another turnover for the Crusaders. Well done to this Colgate defense again to get the ball back. And the offense hasn't necessarily struggled. They've found their shots, but Ortlieb with 2 saves has kept this game close. 1-0, 6:45 just about on the clock here at Crown Field.
It's a new little wrinkle the Colgate Raiders have added to their offense, pulling Ryan Walsh all the way up top. Tough for any defender to contain him with a full head of steam.
So down onto the turf. Loose ball push called there on the Crusaders, so Donato will start with it once more. And here is Tyler Rigo. As you were saying earlier, Tyler Rigo really starting to get involved in this offense.
You know, the Colgate Raider coaching staff always looking to get talented players on the field. Tyler Rigo, a little bit buried at the attack position, but they put him up at the midfield and has been able to come in and do a great job.
Another shot, another save from Ortlieb. So that was Tyler Rigo ripping one, but Ortlieb quickly reading it and pulling it down. So Colgate's been working coming from behind the cage and finding midfielders up about 10-15 yards out. And that's going to be a failed clearance, it looks like, for the Crusaders. Flag is down.
It's a great play there by number 18, Derek Catches, coming in, picking up a tough ground ball and drawing the flag there. Colgate's going to have a man-up situation.
Big shot from Walsh. Whipped that one. But it was saved straight up in the air by Ortlieb. Michael Ortlieb, the sophomore, keeping his team alive in this first quarter.
I don't know.
Good saves. Walsh from about 5 yards out.
I don't know who in their right mind can play goalie in this game, standing there with Brian Walsh about to hurl a rubber ball at you over 100 miles an hour. I will duck at that shot every time.
I'm with you there. That had some heat on it. But Ortlieb stays in there, and again, keeping his team alive in the early goings. So Brendan Sheehan is going to sit for 30 seconds for the push. So Colgate with their first man-up opportunity of the match. Let's see if they can get something going here to take a 2-goal lead. A shot fizzed over there from Eric Foote on this near side, looking for the top corner. Colgate recovers, nearly turns it over there. Foote's going to get another chance, and he buries it. Through traffic, Eric Foote, sidearm, left-handed delivery, side netting, 2-0 to the Raiders.
That's the kind of play you're going to get out of Eric Foote at least once a game. Maybe not the biggest kid or the flashiest kid, but this kid can play lacrosse. Great shot there by Eric Foote. Buries it near side.
So Foote from Matt Clarkson give Foote 14 on the campaign. Clarkson with the assist. 2-0 to the Raiders. And here is Keneally and Williams. So Colgate 1 for 1 on the man-up opportunity. Definitely something they want to keep going here as Keneally wins another one, but is going to have it knocked out quickly. But well done there by Boyle to fight for it and nearly keep it in play.
Good hustle there by Kevin Boyle. He's had a great season all year on the wings. Look for that to continue here against this Holy Cross face-off unit.
So Kennedy on the ball there, back to Ortlieb. So they're going to call it that, a turnover on Keneally. Bit unfair, I would think, there for the whoever's doing the stats there, and the cause turnover to Kyle Kadlick. As there's a flag down now, so it looks like Holy Cross is going to get a man-up opportunity. This is Ward.
Not sure I agree with that one. Looked like a light brush from Kevin Boyle. I think they might get him for a slash here.
So big face-off win. However they come, they're big ones for Holy Cross. They're going up against Keneally today, and they get on the offensive side of things, have a flag down. And so let's see what the Crusaders can do. Down 2. Still, of course, plenty of lacrosse to be played.
With the flag down, Holy Cross has a free possession here, so to speak. Able to get a shot on goal knowing that they're going to get the ball right back.
Driving to the cage and going 5-hole there was Clay Harmon. So Harmon found some space, beat his man, and put it between the wickets of Burke.
Nice roll dodge there by Clay Harmon from Holy Cross. Not a good angle from Burke's perspective to be able to make a save there. Had the whole cage to shoot at, coming down right on top of Brandon. Tough save. And Clay Harmon able to bury it.
So 2-1. And Colgate's going to be down a man here, it looks like. So they're going to get Boyle for the slash, I believe.
Colgate penalty charge to number 31, Kevin Boyle. 1 minute for slashing at 3:33.
So Boyle 1 minute for slashing, but Keneally wins the draw. Thought about taking it to the cage, but instead backs it out, and looks like Colgate's going to be able to hold on to things here and see out this penalty.
Here, that's a huge benefit of having a guy like Alex Keneally on this team. When you're man down, if you lose that face-off, you're looking at a whole minute of being man down defense. Alex Keneally wins the face-off. Raiders will be able to kill this penalty and have the ball on offense. Huge momentum play.
So with 3 minutes left in the quarter, Colgate's probably just going to hang on to the rock here. Let Boyle release. Here is Eric Foote on the ball. Guarded closely by Brendan Sheehan.
Interesting decision by the Holy Cross Crusaders not to pull Eric Foote. Oh, it looks like they're sending one now.
Or even not to double and try and force a turnover there. But as it stands, Williams thought about the shot. Dumps it down to Walsh. Walsh tries to wrap around the cage. Finds a shot. Finds the back of the net. So Ryan Walsh, first goal in 3 games. And down a man, Colgate finds the back of the net, restores a 2-goal advantage, 3-1 to the Raiders.
Great play by Ryan Walsh, and you could see there that he wasn't the initial dodger. Cam Williams initially comes down the right alley, creates a little movement on this Holy Cross defense, and right there, Walsh immediately able to capitalize. That just goes to show when you've got other guys pitching in, that's what opens up the space enough for guys like Ryan Walsh to be able to put the ball in the back of the net.
So the penalty has released as well. So big opportunity for the Crusaders goes to waste there as Keneally's able to win the face-off and the Raiders are able to find the back of the net via Ryan Walsh. Crusaders are going to get the face-off here thanks to the referee's whistle. And so with 2:15, Holy Cross back on offense here. Give the ground ball to Ben Williams. Big check there. That was, who was that? Was that Lawrence?
Looked like Bobby Lawrence on the caused turnover there.
But Holy Cross recovers after the shot. Here's Wilkinson.
Bobby looks in the zone, maybe partly due to receiving his first job offer the other day. Congratulations to Bobby Lawrence.
Bobby, one of the met thousands of NCAA athletes going pro in something other than sports.
Exactly right. These guys have a lot of other things going on besides lacrosse, which is sort of the beauty of being a student athlete.
Was it a lacrosse player who was the valedictorian a few years ago, if I remember correctly?
It was Jimmy Queenie, an absolute stalwart on and off the field. Valedictorian and academic All-American. Now working his tail off at Goldman Sachs. Poor Jimmy.
Pretty impressive, I would say, for Jimmy Queenie there. So Holy Cross still on after a few shots go wide. They're going to get another chance. Side netting there from Mac Berman, the freshman, the Don Bosco product. So another one of those big North Jersey prep schools finds the back of the cage, 3-2. Berman's 9th of the season. Holy Cross sticking around here in the early goings. Unassisted on the goal there. 1:17 left in the first quarter.
You know, when I said Bobby Lawrence received his first job offer, I take that back. It's actually his second job offer, as he has been drafted to play pro lacrosse by the Florida Launch. So lots of opportunities for Bobby Lawrence moving forward.
Very impressive there for Lawrence. Another shot,
no.
3-3. And just like that, Harmon ties it up. So Holy Cross right off the face-off.
Nice fast break there by Holy Cross. Tic-tac-toe, that's what you practice from 3rd grade on in lacrosse, the 4-on-3 broken situation. Able to find an open guy and put it in the back of the net. Colgate needs to stop the bleeding here. They need this face-off from Alex Keneally.
So just like that, 3-1 becomes 3-3. 15th goal of the season for Harmon. Give the assist to Kyle Cadlick. See if Keneally can get something back here. And he's going to come away with that. He's going to have to get rid of the ball, though. Still has it in the back of his stick.
Wise timeout there by Coach Murphy. Alex Keneally, not known for his speed, per se. Coach Murphy able to save a possession there, get Alex Keneally out of trouble.
So well done by Keneally just to hold on to the ball there. Couldn't get it out of the back of the stick. And in his post-game comments after the defeat against Lehigh last week, Coach Murphy talking about how he regretted not using a timeout to save Bobby Lawrence from a turnover in a crucial part of the game. So perhaps some of that thinking factoring in here as the timeout being burned in the first quarter. But yes, certainly I think a good point to do it, considering the momentum shift that has just drastically gone the way of the Crusaders.
Yeah, the Raiders may be a little shell-shocked here. They look like they had this game in control, and Holy Cross able to just put 2 and tie it up extremely quickly within a minute. Just goes to show lacrosse is a game of momentum, and if you take your foot off the gas just like that, tie ball game.
So if you look at the stats, one would think that Colgate would be in a bit of control here. 10 shots for the Raiders, 7 ground balls. Holy Cross has 4 turnovers to the Raiders 1. Colgate 5 of 7 on the face-offs and 1 for 1 on the extra man. But on the only stat that matters, the one on the scoreboard, big scoreboard here to our left at Andy Kerr Stadium.
I think that goes back to something you were saying earlier, Anthony. Raiders seem to be settling for a few shots pretty deep. Maybe Coach Murphy warned his team in this timeout, work for the dunk, work for the easy goal.
Yeah, I think we've seen once they get, like that last goal from Walsh, it was, who was it, Williams that dove to the cage, was the original dive.
The original initiator, yeah.
Yeah. So perhaps Colgate will hold for 1 here, perhaps, or do you think Coach will take the brakes off and let them go as they see fit?
Looks like they're going to hold for 1. Want to make sure that they have the last statement of this quarter.
So here is Clarkson and Foote. The Holy Cross defense extending a little bit as Foote dodges through.
Well defended there by Holy Cross. Not easy for a short stick to contain Eric Foote.
Foote with a rip, saved. And the long rebound's going to come out here. So with about 10 seconds left, if the Crusaders can hold on to the ball, they may have a chance to finish off this quarter with a shot on goal. And doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it as the ball runs out of play and the horn sounds. So at the end of 1 here at Crown Field, Andy Kerr Stadium, it's 3-3. Colgate up 3-1, but then in the blink of an eye, Holy Cross comes back to tie it. So in this big Patriot League matchup, we are tied at 3 heading into the second quarter. So let's take a look at some stats again. For the Crusaders, Harmon with 2, Berman with 1. goals, that being goals, of course. For the Raiders, Foote, McCann, and Walsh, each with a tally apiece. Keneally's 5 of 7 on the faceoffs. Williams winning the other 2. So Reid, 15 minutes in the books. What are your thoughts?
Well, as you're reading off the stats there, I'm thinking to myself, Colgate seems to be firmly in control of most of the stats that matter. It looks like they've got to tighten up their fast break defense, as that led to 2 quick Holy Cross goals. And they're man down as well. They can't keep letting these goals in on man down. You got to stand firm in there some of the time. Give your team a chance to come out with a victory.
So big weekend of Patriot League play here. There's a bunch of different teams in action. Yesterday, Bucknell and Lafayette playing. Today, Loyola hosts BU. Lehigh's at Georgetown in non-league action. In football, I guess that would be league action, but not in the springtime. And then the big one, for a lot of different reasons, Army and Navy at West Point. Should be a rockin' atmosphere there as the mids and the cadets square off. I read something about it was like the 85th, 87th time that they've been facing off, so one of the storied rivalries.
Definitely a storied rivalry between those two programs, and Coach Murphy knows a little something about that rivalry coming from Army, spending 8 years there. So he definitely carries that chip on his shoulder mentality when both those teams come to Hamilton.
Speaking of storied rivalries, did you catch the end of the North Dakota-Minnesota Frozen 4 game on Friday?
I didn't actually see it. I stopped watching when the Colgate boys tragically lost to Ferris State.
Yeah, that was disappointing. Great season for the Raiders on the ice, but real quick, as Keneally wins another draw there and gets clobbered from behind, flag is down, and the whistle blows. So well done by Keneally there, and we'll get you just to the penalties on in what for in a second. Just real quick, on Thursday in the Frozen Four, Minnesota, North Dakota playing for like the 250th time.
Wow.
And Minnesota, shorthanded, scored with a half a second left in the third to win it 2-1.
But, you know, Colgate hockey did get to meet Ashton Kutcher last night, so small consolation for the boys who had a great season, worked very hard to get where they were.
Yes, definitely. Congratulations to Don Vaughn's squad as the Raiders back to the NCAA tournament. The Lacrosse Raiders here on the man-up opportunity, and there's a turnover. Not the best way to start that, so it's going to be a penalty on Kyle Cadlick, 30 seconds for pushing.
Brian looking to feed it to Eric Foote across. A couple too many sticks there. Nice deflection by the Holy Cross defense.
So Ortlieb with the ground ball.
Oh, wow. That's just a guy who knows a lot about lacrosse. Bobby Lawrence making a great play there in the open field.
So here is Walsh with the ground ball. So Walsh again on the ball. Now Foote.
All even now for the Crusaders.
Clarkson. Ball's on the turf though, and Holy Cross looks like they nearly came up with it, but a good pickup there by Adams. So Colgate is able to hold on to it. Here's McCann. Foote again on this near sideline. 13:15 showing on the clock.
Got an offensive midi here in Terry McKenna. Eric Foote's going to look to try and exploit this one.
So Foote draws the double. Dishes it back up top. Colgate unable to take advantage. Here's a drive from Williams. Out of play, but Colgate is going to back it up.
Really been impressed with Cam Williams so far this game. He's been able to get separation, create a few openings for his teammates. If he puts that one on net, it's got a good chance of going in.
Here's Foote. Foote nearly drew the slide. Not sure what he was going for with that pass. Walsh unable to keep it in.
Coach Abbott frustrated with that play. Looked like Ryan could have just picked that up the old-fashioned way. Tried to do a little Indian pickup there on the sideline, ends up in a turnover.
So the Crusaders hanging around here, 3-3. 12:35 on the clock. Colgate, a win will get them into the tournament.
Another offside call. Or, no, he just took that back. That was interesting stoppage of play by the referee on that one.
I suppose as long as they get it right. But yeah, definitely interesting there. Perhaps lucky for Holy Cross to slow things down and give them a second to think it over, as the clear attempt is good for the Crusaders. Now looking for their first lead of the match. Here's Berman. Tried to dish out to McKenna. The pass was wild, but McKenna able to corral it at the second attempt. Colgate had to slide there, but was able to get it sorted out.
Just want to take a second to talk about number 10, Matt Clarkson for the Colgate Raiders. After a long offensive possession, just down here on defense, really doing everything that could be asked of a player to perform in a lacrosse game. Really a team guy and always willing to help out on all sides of the field. Impressive display of versatility by Matt Clarkson.
So Jimmy Ryan playing defense out here. Jimmy, one of the Colgate big players coming into this season, but an injury has hampered his effectiveness. Only the one goal on the campaign. Out there playing defense at the moment.
You see Bobby Lawrence extending a little further than you normally see him do. I think he feels comfortable with his positioning in this matchup against number 4, Sean Wilkinson, sophomore.
Berman got a step on Clarkson there, but the shot is wide. Trying to muscle his way into the paint, and shooting wide there was Kevin Lux. Again, if you'll forgive the basketball term there.
Coach Murphy urging his defenseman Leo Storrs to get a little lower there, get the lower center of gravity. Low man is going to win those battles at the goal line extended.
It's another wild shot there, but Holy Cross had it backed up. But Colgate's going to come away with it here. Long pass out. The home run ball is out of play.
I think I jinxed Brandon Burke at the beginning of this game, saying he's never thrown a bad pass. That might have been the first one I've ever seen from him.
Yeah, a good look, I suppose, but the execution not there, and perhaps not entirely necessary to go for the home run right there, especially when you've got some tired legs after a long offensive possession for the Crusaders. So right back to it is the Colgate defense.
Coach Abbott, a rules aficionado, very upset with the referee granting that timeout. You've got to be inside the box to call a timeout with these rules here in college lacrosse. Coach Abbott expressing his frustration, sprinting out onto the field. I was scared for that referee for a second.
Huh. Interesting. So do you think the referee just missed one there, or do you think he may have said, we'll give it to him regardless?
It's hard to say, sometimes when the Holy Cross coach, Sean Morrissey, is screaming for a timeout, sometimes the referee's first instinct is just to grant it. Holy Cross did have the ball. But no harm, no foul, I guess.
Part of the rules change is looking to make the game more offensive friendly and more TV friendly, perhaps. Again, take a look at some more stats. Nothing's changed with the goals, as we're still knotted at 3 here with 10:04. Foote, Keneally, and Walsh each with a turnover. Should probably give one to Burke as well there. Rigo's got 2 shots on goal. Walsh has 2 shots on goal. For the Crusaders, Harmon with 2 and Berman with 1.
I think the offensive production here has been predominantly when the midfielders have created some separation, gotten a slide, then dumped it off to their stalwart attackmen in Ryan Walsh, Brendan McCann, and Kevin Adams, and allowed them to do the finishing. Going to look for Colgate's midfield to keep generating offense for this Colgate team.
interesting stat. Brandon Burke without a save so far today. So
Very interesting stat.
Don't need to be a math major to be able to figure out that would be a 0% save percentage. Although not much he's going to be doing about some of those goals out there. Especially in that run that Holy Cross had at the end of the first to grab 2 back quickly.
Yeah, I can't think of one that he should have had, so to speak. I think they've all been pretty uncontested shots with good angles, but look for this defense to put Brandon in more positions to succeed.
So back to the action here as the clock ticks down to 10 minutes left in the second quarter. 3-3 is the score. Coming to you live from Crown Field at Andy Kerr Stadium in Hamilton, New York. Glad you can join us on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders.
Great to have the Crown family commemorated here on this in Andy Kerr Stadium. Michael Crown was a huge part of a Colgate Raider defense for 4 years, and the Crown family has done plenty for the Colgate Lacrosse program.
A real big save there for Burke. So just talking about how Burke hadn't had a save yet, gets his first of the afternoon there from short range. Might have to come up with another
Great
one here.
Play there by Kevin Boyle in the passing lane and got the ball going the other way.
So well done by Boyle to pick that one off and then get forward. Colgate's going to slow it down here, though.
Kevin is really coming into his own. I'd be shocked if he's not in the running for first team or second team All-Patriot League. Has really had a great season, causing turnovers, playing defense on the top midfielder on each team every single Saturday. And it's been great to watch him come into his own here in the midfield.
Yeah, when you've got a guy that can be as versatile as he is and as good handling the ball as well, it really, I think, takes a lot of the pressure, so to speak, off some of the other defenders out there, knowing that they've got a rock, so to speak, an anchor in a guy like Boyle. You could also say the same for Lawrence, I would suppose. As Colgate back onto the offensive side of things here.
Kevin also fortunate to have his trusty backup, Derek Catchis, always ready to play and come in and contribute in whatever situation he may be needed.
McCann got handcuffed there.
Oh, Matt Clarkson just with such great hustle there, able to keep possession for the Colgate Raiders. I'm not sure what the call was there.
I think Foot may have done something with the Holy Cross player's stick as
Matt,
a big
again,
hit there.
All over the field. It's just hard to say enough about a guy like Matt Clarkson who is contributing in so many different ways.
Clarkson going wild out there, getting a bit chippy here in the last 30 seconds or so. Another pick off there.
This Colgate ride, I don't think I've ever seen it so stiff. It's absolutely incredible how they've been able to keep Holy Cross in their own defensive zone. Look for Holy Cross defense to wear down and some of these goals to start trickling in.
So 3-3 still the score here. Give the ground ball there to John Baker.
Ferocious ride there from Colgate.
As well as a caused turnover. So Colgate, the aggressive ride. Holy Cross is only 5 of 9 on the clears. Certainly something that, as you said, Reid, will benefit the Raiders in the long run. Here's Donato.
It's a backbreaker for defense when you dig in for a solid minute, defend your guy, but get the ball on the ground, and only to be unable to clear the ball. Offense gets a whole nother shot with new, fresh guys out there. Absolutely momentum killer in the game of lacrosse.
Walsh now, he's inverted, tries the shot, is wide, but Colgate will back it up and have a second bite at it. Here is Brendan McCann, being backed out to the sideline by the referee. But we'll get things going once more. Kirchner and Donato out for the Raiders, as well as Tyler Rigo. What is this one called? The white line?
I believe it is the white line. Raiders flexing, showing their depth a little bit here, running, I think, 2 freshmen out there. No, 1 freshman, a sophomore, and senior veteran Justin Kirchner.
Colgate, the 8th youngest team in the country.
Really?
Coming into this season.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so a lot to look forward to, one would hope. for the Raiders as another shot is whipped in there, but wide. That one again off the stick of Rigo.
Probably contributing to that age is me and 4 other of my fellow friends who have departed the lacrosse team as part of the senior class.
Well, they've certainly got big shoes to fill, do these youngsters. And they find themselves in a game here as the low shot there, again from Rigo.
Tough pass there. Rigo would have liked to have caught that right by his ear, be able to drive that overhand, but did the best with what he could, unable to get it on net.
So a long possession here for the Raiders. Gotten a couple shots, none on goal. As they look to grab the lead once more. We remain knotted at 3. Kirchner there. Rigo tries to dodge. Good defense there from Matt Smith.
Oh my God,
Big
Brendan
rip
McCann.
there. That was a tight angle, but a dirty rip from Brendan McCann.
I was just thinking to myself, Brendan showed a lot of flashes early. It looked like he was going to be poised to have a big game. Was held quiet for a little bit. I was thinking there was going to be a time when he was going to get going, and then boom, buries it near side. Absolute rope from Brendan McCann.
Got a lot of velocity on that for sure, and able to find the near side, the near stick. Tight angle for McCann, his 16th of the season, 2nd of the day. And so Colgate back up on top 4-3, 5:12 to go as Keneally wins the draw.
Brendan has got to be loving this right now.
So Keneally wins it, and he will jog back to the bench, Williams following him there. So Colgate again dominating on the faceoffs, but not much to show for it on the scoreboard, at least so far in this second quarter. See if that, you think that will start, again, just like the rides and the clears, you think that'll start to wear down this Holy Cross defense going forward if Colgate can continue to win faceoffs?
I think it's a no-brainer. When you play this much defense, it's absolutely backbreaking. And look, Ryan Walsh coming strong again.
A second one-handed goal of the day for Ryan Walsh.
Is that Gary Gate out there? Just score with one hand? Ryan, wow.
So Walsh showing off the bicep curls perhaps there as he whips that in with one hand. Got himself around the cage and was able to find the back of the net.
Summer is coming up, and you know Ryan Walsh is going to love to be out on the beach this summer, but going back to that one-handed goal, when you're a defenseman, coaches will tell you that your attackman can't do anything when he's got one hand off the stick, so you affect the bottom hand, and you're going to be fine. Not on that play. Ryan Walsh doesn't care, comes around with one hand, and bang.
Quick release there, fooling Ortlieb. The chant from the Colgate fans across the field is "Who wears purple?" So, perhaps, I guess they could say worse things about the Holy Cross Crusaders, as the score is 5-3, 4 minutes left in half number 1. Keneally another face-off win, that one on a violation there. It's Walsh's 2nd of the day, 21st of the season.
Like so many other lacrosse games, this has proven to be a game of runs. Let's see if Colgate can sustain this momentum rolling into the second half.
Foot. Puts on the brakes, goes back to his left hand. The slide came. Looking for the mismatch, don't necessarily see one. Walsh with the fake, goes low. Hat trick for Ryan Walsh. I think he's back, Reid.
I don't know if that's Sports Center top 10 for Ryan Walsh or not top 10 for Sports Center. Number 47, defenseman Will Weber, turns around at the incredible fake by Ryan Walsh. Ryan just steps in and buries it top right. Absolutely sensational play there.
So Walsh somehow kept the ball in his stick. He put a lot of the fake looked, it had me fooled. Looked like he actually was going to shoot that. Pulls it down, goes from high to low, and slips it past Ortlieb. So just like you said, Colgate on a run here. 3 unanswered, and Holy Cross is going to take a timeout here.
What a sport.
Definitely. What a day here in Hamilton. What a sport, and what a fake by Ryan Walsh. Yeah, definitely submit that to Sports Center.
Ryan might join the family of Colgate Lacrosse teammates who have been on Sports Center. Bobby Lawrence actually scored from just to the right of me at this 30-yard line here against Bucknell. Bucknell employing that pesky 10-man ride. Bobby, not to be deterred, buries it from 60 yards. Incredible play back then.
I do remember that. I believe I was in the stands for that one. And then seeing it on Sports Center, pretty cool as well. I know Austin Smith also got onto the top 10, not as a Raider, as a member of the, I forget the name of the team. He was in the one of the minor league teams for the Dallas Stars. Got in after scoring 2 breakaway goals in about one period, I think, of hockey, and they got a Colgate mention, so that was good. Good for the Raiders. I almost got a not top 10 earlier this season in women's hockey, where a puck got stuck in the goaltender's pads, and you had her teammate like reaching down the back of her pants, like rifling around in her pants to find the puck, which was it took about 5 minutes. It was fairly funny, but no such luck.
I do enjoy watching those clips.
Yes. But back to the action. Keneally wins another one. Is going to be forced backwards. Good work out of the back there.
Holy Cross got to be getting frustrated. I don't think they've had an offensive possession once in this entire second quarter. And that's the kind of thing that'll wear on a defense, as I was saying.
So the Crusaders fighting for their lives, trying to get into the Patriot League postseason. Ball's on the turf, but picked up by Williams. Colgate.
Nice poise there by Cam. Drops it with a pole right there, ready to attack him. Cam able to corral the ground ball, keep possession for the Raiders.
So Colgate can secure a postseason berth with a win here today. Again, still in the running for a... Well, as Walsh finds the back of the net again.
And you see it again there. Eric Foote coming down the right alley creates movement. So Brian Walsh's guys forced to step up, hedge a little bit towards Eric Foote, giving Walsh the opportunity to come in and sneak that one past goalie Eric Gottlieb. I mean, it just goes to show how much easier it is for a star like Brian Walsh when his teammates are helping out, creating chances for him. When he's the initial dodger and the whole defense is keyed in on him, knows he's going to dodge, becomes much harder to get balls to go in the net.
So Walsh, 3 straight goals. He's got a hat trick in this second and 4 overall. 23 on the season, and yes, give the assist to Eric Foote.
Alex Keneally complaining there. Looked like some foul play at the faceoff, which is pretty common in the sport of college lacrosse.
So flag was down.
But, you know, Alex Keneally has had a long lineage of mentors, starting with Jim Carroll down to Rob Graber. So they know how to handle themselves at that X.
So perhaps a bit of frustration there from the Crusaders, as the flag is going to go against Holy Cross. I'll get you exactly what for in just a second. Ben Williams not having the best of times out there. So again, trying to see exactly what the flag is for. Looks like Kevin Lux, the freshman attack, is going to serve the penalty. And Colgate is back to a man-up opportunity, 1-4-2 on the day.
Oh, Kevin. Nice shot there by Kevin Adams. Has been held dormant today. Almost got his first one there.
So the penalty's on Williams for the face-off violation.
I think it must have been his third face-off violation of the half. You get a flag for that nowadays.
Makes sense, I suppose. McCann went with the submarine delivery there, hit some traffic on the way through.
Brendan has been feeling it with his accuracy, but a little bit of too much of an acute angle there for Brendan to be able to put that one in. Oh, and another failed clear by Holy Cross.
Everything going wrong for the Crusaders here. I think that actually may have hit the ref.
Wow,
as it was tossed over. So when it rains, it pours for the Crusaders here. They get a good stop defensively. They kill the penalty. But a bit of misfortune there.
It was frustrating earlier when Holy Cross couldn't clear. I mean, I'm sure it must have frustrated them. And at this point, it's just got to be no fun. When you can't get the ball out of your zone for an entire 15-minute period, it's just mentally and physically draining.
And there's another flag down. So Colgate with a big opportunity here to start.
Holy Cross just hoping for the bell to ring and get out of this round. They've been certainly hit in the face by this Colgate Raider offense.
Kirchner finds the back of the net. And just like you say, waiting for the bell are the Crusaders. Justin Kirchner, the senior from Cambridge, Massachusetts, buries that one.
Incredible display of athleticism there from Justin Kirchner, a midfielder, more accustomed to coming from up top and shooting from down the alley. They're coming from behind the cage, able to sneak it past Eric Gottlieb. Nice play there by Justin Kirchner.
So 8 goals for the Raiders, 5 of them coming in this second quarter, 5 consecutive. Colgate matching their goal total, well, beating their goal total from last week where they scored 7 against Lehigh and then only 8 against Loyola. So the Raiders on track here.
Finally, Ben Williams gets a break at the faceoff X. Let's see if Holy Cross can take advantage of this first possession they've had in a long, long time. Going to be tricky with this Colgate defense so well rested.
Yeah, you got to wonder if the Crusaders might just want to try and hold on to the ball here and get to the half, considering how tired that defense might be.
Definitely a wise insight. They are definitely going to look to take care of the ball here.
Of course, a goal heading into the half would be...
Or maybe did I speak too soon? Kevin Boyle able to get in on the hands there of number 10, Jamie Ward for Holy Cross, able to cause another turnover.
And Burke there able to get out of some trouble, and with 15 seconds left, Colgate maybe with a chance to add to the goal total.
Bobby Lawrence look for some fireworks here.
Lawrence.
Oh, he just dumps it off to Matt Clarkson.
Lawrence dumps it off, but he'll stay up. Clarkson now, 4 seconds to shoot, shoots, and whistles it just past the cage. 1.5 seconds left, and that'll do it.
Brendan and Kevin have had a connection all season. If that had gone in, I would have just walked out of the booth right there. That was an absolutely incredible handle by Kevin Boyle on the crease. Unable to get the goal.
So at the end of the first half here in Hamilton, Colgate rides 5 straight goals, 3 of them from Ryan Walsh. 8-5 is our score at the end of 1.
8-3.
Sorry, 8-3. 8-3 is our score at the end of 1 as Colgate turned it on in that second quarter. We're going to step aside for about 10 minutes here and get you back to the second half. You are watching this Patriot League matchup on the Patriot League Network powered by Campus Insiders. We'll see you on the other side.
The Patriot League, today's scholar athlete, tomorrow's leader.
With identical 6-0 Patriot League records, the Loyola men's and women's lacrosse teams lead the way as postseason bids are being handed out. A trio of teams have clinched tournament berths on the men's side, including the defending champion Lehigh Mountain Hawks, while 4 teams have locked up playoff bids in women's lacrosse. Hey everyone, I'm Melanie Plowski and welcome to Patriot League Roundup. Loyola won a tough battle on the road at Navy to improve to 6-0 in men's lacrosse, while Army and Lehigh both clinched berths with wins over the weekend. Here are the highlights. The Navy midshipmen gave the top-ranked Loyola Greyhounds all they could handle, leading throughout most of the first half and taking a 5-3 lead on Tucker Hull's second goal of the game early in the third quarter. Justin Ward led the Greyhounds on a 3-0 run to take a 6-5 lead with 2:53 left in the third. But early in the fourth, Gabe Boumard tied it up at 6 and the 2 teams went into overtime. In the extra session, Hull nearly gave the Mids the major upset win, but his behind-the-back shot hit the post and caromed off goalkeeper Jack Runkle's leg to keep the game knotted at 6. Loyola's Loyola's Brian Schultz put it away in the second overtime, scoring off a pass from Justin Ward to lift Loyola to a 7-6 win. Colgate and Lehigh played a back-and-forth first half until Dan Taylor scored a late second quarter goal to give the Mountain Hawks a 5-4 lead. In the third quarter, Taylor scored again to make it 6-4, and he assisted on another 2 goals during a 6-1 run that gave Lehigh a 10-5 lead. The Mountain Hawks held on to win 11-7. Army marched out to a 6-2 lead on Tim Cole's goal in the second quarter, and Cole Johnson extended it to 8-4 early in the fourth quarter. Boston U rallied with 3 straight goals, but it wasn't enough in the 8-7 Army win. Terry McKenna scored his first of 2 goals to give Holy Cross an early 4-1 lead, and Kevin Lux netted the hat trick to help the Crusaders win 10-5 over Lafayette on Saturday. In women's lacrosse, Loyola, Navy, Boston U, and Lehigh have all clinched bids to the Patriot League tournament, and the Greyhounds remain in the top spot with just 2 games left. Here are the highlights from last week. After a sluggish start on Saturday against Colgate, Loyola pulled away with a 7-0 run to win 10-4. Annie Thomas led the way with 2 goals and 3 assists. Boston U bounced back after a rough first half on Saturday to turn an 8-4 deficit into a 10-8 lead on Mallory Collins' goal. Lehigh tied the game at 10 late to force overtime, where the 2 teams exchanged goals in the first session. And in the second overtime, Allison LeBeau scored the game winner for Lehigh. Caitlin Miller netted the hat trick for Bucknell to help the Bison take an 8-3 lead on the Holy Cross Crusaders, and they held off a late run to win 8-7 on Saturday. Kirsten Wilhelmsen scored 6 goals Saturday, including 4 in the second half to rally Lafayette from behind and force overtime against American. And in the extra session, Wilhelmsen potted goal number 6 as the Leopards went on to win 15-13. Loyola's Annie Thomas had 2 goals and 5 assists, while Marley Payton recorded a hat trick and 2 assists to lead the Greyhounds to an 18-5 win over American on Wednesday. Colgate's Megan Ark scored 4 goals and had 2 assists, including a pair of goals during a 5-1 run that sealed the Raiders' 11-7 win over Boston U on Wednesday. Amanda Kay scored 5 goals and Laura Kleiber added 4 as Lafayette put together a late 6-2 run to pull away in a 12-9 win over Bucknell on Wednesday. In baseball, Bucknell took 3 of 4 games against Lehigh to maintain a game-and-a-half lead over Army with a 7-1 record. Holy Cross split a series on the road at Navy, winning the opener and the finale. Navy broke out the bats in Game 2 and relied on the arm of Luke Gillingham in Game 3 as he struck out 12 in a 3-1 win. In softball, Boston U took a pair of games in its 3-game series against Lehigh, but still sits in second place at 4-2. Bucknell and Army also have above 500 records in league play. 8 events are scheduled to be streamed live for free on the Patriot League Network. Log on to patriotleague.tv for the entire schedule. For the Patriot League Network, I'm Melanie Plowski.
The Patriot League, today's scholar athlete, tomorrow's leaders.
Lehigh junior attackman Dan Taylor recorded 4 points, including a pair of goals that gave the Mountain Hawks the lead for good in an 11-7 win over then number 16 Colgate on Saturday. Tied at 4, Taylor scored to make it 5-4 at halftime, and after the break, he gave the Mountain Hawks a 6-4 lead. He assisted on another 2 goals during the 6-1 run that helped Lehigh pull away. For his efforts, Taylor wins the Patriot League's Rock and Refuel Performance of the Week. And he joins me right now via Skype on the Patriot League Network. Hey Dan, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, thanks. So Saturday's game against Colgate was back and forth for the majority of the first half. What was the difference in the second half when your team's offense came alive?
I think the big thing is we made some adjustments at half. Coach Cassis put in some new things that we could try to do to mess with the Colgate D. But the real thing, I think, is the guys just came out and we played really, really hard in the second half.
You lost a pair of high-scoring seniors from last year, but the offense hasn't missed a beat. What's been the key to your continued success on the offensive end?
Losing guys like Dave and Dante last year was huge, but we realized this year that in order to be successful, we're going to have to work as a six-man unit all the time. And so everyone buying into the systems really is what made us successful this year so far.
With 16 assists apiece, you and Reid Weber are dual threats on the field. How nice is it to be one of two guys who can distribute the ball and set up scoring opportunities?
It's really nice. Reid's done a terrific job this year, no doubt. And again, I have to give credit to our team playing as a six-man unit, because when everyone's working together, the ball happens to end up in my stick and the guys happen to be open. So it's really nice having a solid team.
So you're from Canada, and both lacrosse and ice hockey are pretty big there. How did you decide to go with the grass fields over the ice?
I grew up playing hockey since I was about 3 years old and started playing lacrosse when I was 4. So got to the point where I realized that I just loved lacrosse a lot more than I loved hockey. So I decided to stick with it. I'm happy I did.
Plus, you get to play in the warm weather.
Exactly.
All right, well, thanks, Dan. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Tamburo and Reid Shepard here at Crown Field at Andy Kerr Stadium, campus of Colgate University in Hamilton, New York. About to start half number 2 of this Patriot League showdown between the Colgate Raiders and the Holy Cross Crusaders. Reid, that second quarter was all Colgate.
That might have been the best quarter I've seen from these Raiders all season. Everything just seeming to click for them. Offense, ground balls, face-offs. I can't even say defense because I don't even think they were tested that entire quarter.
You know, the one time they actually did have to play defense right at the end there, and I think it was Lawrence coming away with the steal. So everything going right for the Raiders in quarter number 2, and it all started at the face-off X with Alex Keneally having himself a game. Came into this one winning 59% of his face-offs and having a good day so far today. 10 of 13 is Keneally. A couple of those coming via violations. But the first one of half number 2 goes the way of the Crusaders as we are underway here. Holy Cross in the away purples from right to left. Colgate the home whites left to right.
Well done there by freshman Ben Williams to come away with the ground ball there. Huge play for the Holy Cross Crusaders to get started on the right foot in this second half.
Beautiful day for some lacrosse here. probably high 40s. Got up to the high 50s in the last few days here in Hamilton. So I think sun's out, guns out is probably the best way to describe the campus over the last few days. A little bit of wind, but it's calmed down as the game has gone on here. So excellent conditions. Halftime, the Colgate Lacrosse 1964 team was recognized as Holy Cross gets on the board first. That's Sean Wilkinson driving to the cage, getting a step and burying it.
Nice play there by Sean Wilkinson, just speeding past Matt Clarkson, coming right up on Brandon Burke, and no chance there for the goalie to make a save. I think Sean wanted to take advantage of the opportunity of not having Bobby Lawrence on him for the time being, able to capitalize with that goal.
So Wilkinson unassisted, his 17th of the season, just what the Crusaders needed to start off this third quarter. Breaks a 5-goal run for the Raiders, and they're going to get another chance here as the faceoff goes the way of Williams. Thanks to a violation on Keneally, so 2 faceoffs in a row for the Crusaders.
Yeah, exactly what the doctor ordered for Crusaders. They needed to get some possessions here for this offense.
And another chance.
Oh, no.
And Burke somehow able to find that one. Looked like the net was empty for a second as Burke was out of position, but he is able to find it and streaks forward.
Nice play by Brendan. I thought he just appeared out of thin air there. It looked like Holy Cross had an empty net to shoot at. Brandon comes back, says no.
Yeah, it was a busted play, and Burke, right place, right time, and that's half of what being a goalkeeper is all about, to keep the lead at 4 for the Raiders, 8-4 here in Hamilton. Just to finish that thought from earlier, the Colgate 1964 men's lacrosse team being recognized at halftime. The team went 11-1, one of the best seasons in program history. So congratulations to those guys that were able to make it up to Hamilton, as the 2014 version here are looking to get themselves into the Patriot League postseason. Cameron Williams obviously wants to get that done as he's on the ball on the far side. Having a good game so far, as you said. Drives to the cage, finds the shot. Didn't get a lot of velocity on that, but McCann is going to cause the turnover here. So another failed clear for the Crusaders leads to more possession.
The saga of failed clears continues here. Brendan McCann making a nice opportunistic deflection there off the goalkeeper, able to keep possession for the Raiders, and here we go again. I've got to think some of these defensemen must be thinking.
Yeah, it looks like perhaps some tired legs, maybe getting a reprieve at halftime, able to get some Gatorade and orange slices or whatever it is. But here is Walsh. He's got 4 today after not scoring in the previous 2 games. There's a drive and a shot well over the top of the cage. That was Eric Foote. It'll stay with the Raiders, though. Another chance for Foote. Thought about the wind-up. Instead gives it to Walsh, who's inverted once more. Puts the spin on. The slide came, and he's forced out. Another shot is wide, but that will stay with the Raiders.
Threatening looking dodge there by Matt Clarkson. Hasn't really been able to get his shots on cage today. One of the most dangerous shots in the league, I've got to think, when they are on cage.
So Walsh, who's put in a highlight reel performance so far today, heads to the cage and is going to clear out there for Clarkson. Clarkson tries to turn, but good defense there from Kennedy. And it'll be tossed out of play, so turnover by the Raiders there.
Nice defensive play by Kennedy, able to get in Matt Clarkson's glove, force that to be a high pass for Brendan.
So Holy Cross on offense. There's a rip low. Burke on his knees, able to make the save. Maybe not exactly what the Crusaders are looking for there, as the quick shot is saved easily.
Burke's starting to make his presence felt here in this game. 2 consecutive saves on 2 good-looking shots from Holy Cross.
And again, he's shown he's very capable of dishing the ball and holding on to it to get the Raiders from defense to offense as another successful clear goes into the books for the Raiders. Here's Kirchner. Kirchner for Rigo, who is joined by Donato, so the white line out for the Raiders. 10 minutes left in quarter number 3, 8-4 is our score from Hamilton, New York. Glad you can join us on the Patriot League Network. Here's Rigo. Drew the slide. So maybe a mismatch in there somewhere if Colgate can find it. Kirchner's looking for it, gives it back to Rigo.
Rigo doesn't like what he sees, settles it down, starts the offense over again. Impressive poise there from a sophomore.
Here's Kirchner with some speed. The slide comes. Can he find anyone? The shot looked like it might have been heading wide anyway, but Ortlieb able to corral it.
Justin Kirchner with a big goal earlier in the game, and you could just tell when he gets an early goal, his game changes. He plays with a lot more confidence, a lot more ferocity on the dodge. Not able to get one there, but a solid offensive possession there for Justin Kirchner.
So here is McKenna, has been held relatively quiet today, the leading goal scorer. It's now down back behind the cage with Clay Harmon. Harmon brings it back up top, and Holy Cross will reset things. Gall here with the shot. Wide, but it will be kept by the Crusaders. Wilkinson to pick it up. This is Jimmy Ryan defending on Berman. Berman lowers the shoulder, Ryan having none of it.
Textbook defense right there from number 9, Jimmy Ryan. Defensive midi, maybe a strong point of this Raiders team. They've got tremendous depth, able to run 3 or 4 guys at any given time. A lot of talent in that defensive midfield position.
But Ryan lost his man there, back behind the cage. Shot off the outside of the net.
Nice deflection there by Burke, able to get in between that Crusader pass. Get the ball on the ground, going the Raiders' way. Nice little hidden ball trick there with Kevin and Brendan. Always trying things out in the offensive zone.
This ball lifted back out towards midfield as Clarkson gathers. So yeah, well done there by Boyle once again with the long stick. Holding on to the rock for the Raiders. 7:30 now on the clock. Here's Foot. Puts a move on, has some space. But Cadlick able to get back in position quickly. Here's Clarkson. Walsh again, like you said, trying to get a full head of steam. Instead, he'll back it out. Gets instructions from the bench.
I really like this look that the Raiders offense has incorporated. I think it puts the defense in a tremendously awkward situation, having to defend Ryan, looking at the entire field. Not an easy thing to do.
Shot was off the upright there from Foot, but Walsh will pick it up once more.
Also, these close defensemen not necessarily accustomed to guarding from up top. Definitely uncomfortable up there with Ryan coming at him.
Walsh again tries the fake. Pass off the turf into Clarkson. Clarkson slings it to the far side for Foot. Foot draws the slide. Clarkson has some space. There was a pick in there for him as well. He dodges to the cage, dodges around, and Ortlieb hung with them and ripped that one down before it could beat him.
Cam with everything but the cherry on top on that play. Nice dodge down the side, able to protect his stick, get underneath his defenseman, unable to put the ball in the back of the net.
So long pass out of the back there from Kennedy. And Holy Cross back on offense here, down 4.
Sometimes when you're an offensive player, you're not accustomed to being that wide open on the doorstep. Might have been a case of what happened to Cam Williams right there.
Yeah, he definitely did everything right up until the final moment of asking. And the result is Holy Cross with the chance to come back within 3, and they find it there, the rip with some velocity on it from Cadlick. Beats Burke to the high side.
That was an absolute laser. It always seems that those shots that get by Burke high, you've got to bring that thing fast, and Cadlick had some heat on that one.
So Cadlick's second of the season, gives an assist to Terry McKenna. So Cadlick a goal and an assist. 12 from 29, 5:30 left in the third. 2 straight for the Crusaders to start this third stanza. Let's see if Keneally can halt the momentum. He does. Still has to get it out of his stick though. Able to cross midfield, some fancy footwork there to get himself free. And
Got
give the
room to
face off
run
to
here.
Keneally. Held on to it a little too long though and got caught. So perhaps a case of trying to do too much by Alex Keneally there, as the turnover gives Holy Cross a chance to come back within 2.
Definitely something Alex Keneally is going to have to work on as he's developed into this all-star defenseman for Colgate, but when teams shut him off like that, he's got to be able to be a threat in the offensive zone so teams can respect him and he can get his teammates open.
Burke with another save. And the long rebound is picked up by the Raiders. Streaking forward are 2 long poles.
Oh, wow.
And fizzing that one over the top was McCann.
Slippery move there from Brendan McCann, able to elude his defenseman in the open field. Just unable to tuck that one under the bar. Sails a little bit high.
Well done by the Raiders midfield line there to recognize that 2 long poles had gone forward. I believe it was both Boyle and Lawrence, and Colgate keeping themselves on sides. So good recognition there for Mike Murphy's club. Donato now. Draws the double team, holds on to the ball with a long stick, cracking at his arms. Trevor Lang there for the Crusaders. Rigo there tried to find somebody, but all he could find were purple shirts, and it's another turnover. So this Colgate offense gone cold a little bit here in the third.
I think Tyler expected to see Kevin Adams cut towards that ball a little bit more. Might have been a little bit of a force. Nice to see Rigo looking to make plays, looking to initiate offense, but got to be careful there.
The result is, once again, Holy Cross with a chance to cut the lead to 2. They've scored 2 straight, both here in the third, and they're not going to be able to get it with an errant pass like that.
Derek catches, showtime. Nice ground ball there. Oh, a little bit of a low pass. Raiders able to take care of it.
So the original ground ball pickup by Catchis gives the Raiders a chance with the long ball here, and the goal. Bobby Lawrence.
Why not
Gets
us, Bob?
himself forward. Yeah, why not? Finds the ball, gets some space, and finds the back of the net. The advantage is back to 4 for the Raiders.
Bobby's been knocking on the door all season. Hasn't picked up his point until that splendid play right there.
So first goal of the season for Bobby Lawrence.
Which, you know, is not the norm. Bobby Lawrence in practice always coming up the field in a threat in offense. Nice to see him get his offensive game going here against Holy Cross.
So the violation there on Ben Williams. Keneally knew it right away as he headed back to the bench. I wonder if that's got to be frustrating sometimes for a face-off guy to either, especially if you're losing face-offs, to not be able to do anything. You know, you lose the face-off and you're back to the bench. You're unable to help your team out beyond that. So it's definitely a mental game, I would say, to keep yourself involved as much as possible and to win those big draws when they occur. And Keneally's done a good job of that so far this season, and definitely in this game.
Good point. Definitely a chess match out there between those two guys at the X, as much as it is a brawl.
Keneally 12 of 17 on the face-offs. So his percentage presumably going to increase. Started the day at around 59%, if you were wondering.
I feel like as a face-off guy, you gotta love your stat being above that 60 mark.
Definitely, and a big chance, big rip there for Eric Foote. Defensive breakdown as Foote found himself wide open from about 7 yards out. No chance for Ortlieb. 10-5 to the Raiders.
Ortlieb frustrated with himself there. Looked like he had a good read on it, but just too much heat coming there from Eric Foote. Able to blow the fastball right by him. 10-5.
So Foote from Clarkson, 15 on the year for Eric Foote. Give him an assist and 2 goals today. And just like that, when things looked like they may have been going the way of the men from Massachusetts, things go right back towards Colgate's momentum. Ooh, that was a great sentence. Things go right back towards Colgate's momentum. Colgate able to gather the momentum right back and restore the 5-goal cushion with 90 seconds left in the third quarter.
And you know, it's great to see this Colgate offense getting point contributions from their top horses here. And Eric Foote, Ryan Walsh, Brendan McCann, all having big days. But I think a lot of that is coming from the separation that their other players out there on the offense are creating for them. Putting these guys in good situations to be able to capitalize.
And the end result is Colgate offense coming back alive after being not necessarily shut down, but not having a great time of it the last few times out. Walsh, a big part of that, as his pass goes through a few players, but it'll be picked up by Rigo on the far side, tiptoes on the sideline, and gets it back into the field of play. 45 ticks left in quarter number 3.
Like I was saying, I think its stats don't tell the whole story sometimes. A lot of hockey assists out here for this Colgate offense, a lot of ground balls and tough situations, really helping this Colgate offense get going.
And so there's a turnover, though, as Kirchner fired it a bit too hot to handle for McCann. And with 30 seconds left, Holy Cross with a chance to get to the fourth, only down 4. Ortlieb slings one ahead. That's McKenna. McKenna read all the way by Burke. Burke launches that one. I think he lost track of how much time was left there. Does that count as a shot?
That is a shot, I would have to imagine. And Burke wants to get in on the scoring action himself.
Definitely. All right, and at the end of 3, Colgate with the 5-goal advantage. 10-5 is the score with 15 minutes left to play. Colgate looking good to get back into the playoffs. Of course, a win here would clinch a playoff berth for the Raiders and put them in a good position.
But, you know, these Raiders don't want to settle for just making it to the Patriot League tournament. Definitely not going to rest on their laurels if they are able to pick up this win against Holy Cross. They're going to want to make some noise in this Patriot League tournament and hopefully take home the trophy.
And I think as we saw against Loyola, the Raiders definitely capable of doing that, as they played really well against the Greyhounds and just couldn't seal the deal. But you feel like a team like Colgate, it's got some weapons, you know, got some experience, well coached. I think they definitely could make some noise.
They've got all the pieces, and I'll tell you, this Raider team, nothing else will be acceptable. They won't feel like they've had a successful season unless they punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament with that automatic qualifier rewarded to the Patriot League champion. Something that's eluded this senior class. The senior class, one of the most storied classes in Colgate history, they've racked up a lot of wins. I think maybe right now they are at second all time, but have not been able to get a Patriot League title, and I know that eats at them inside, and this is their last chance coming up this last month of lacrosse.
Just take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard down in Maryland. Loyola is looking good to go 7-0 in the Patriot League, 10-4 lead on the Terriers of BU. BU also would be eliminated with a loss there. Navy and Army underway as well. Army 3, Navy 1, still in the first in West Point. So an Army win would go well towards securing them a first-round bye. And the face-off won by Keneally. Here he comes, trying to get in on the scoring himself. Finds McCann, 1-2-3. Adams there got crushed as he fired in a shot. It was over the top of the cage. Over the top of the cage, but Colgate able to back it up. So Colgate, that would be their 33rd shot of the game. Only 19 for Holy Cross. 24 ground balls for the Raiders, 17 for the Crusaders. But the big number, Colgate 13 of 18 on the face-offs. And Holy Cross 12 of 18 on clears.
Can't win ball games like that. That's an absolutely killer stat.
So Colgate with the ball and a 5-goal cushion. Here in the fourth, Williams tried to find some space to the cage, instead dishes it around. Walsh dangled the ball down in front of a couple defenders and then pulled it back, but the shot was
Now
saved.
he's got a short stick. Uh-oh.
So let's see if Walsh can find something. Short arms the pass. It's bounced around, nearly picked up by Adams.
That's where Adams makes his living, in there on those dirty little goals right off the crease. Adams usually able to pick that one up and stick in the back of the net. I think they might have got him for goalie interference there.
So Ortlieb with another save in there off the shot from foot. 13:30 on the clock. Glad you can join us on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders Anthony Tamboro and Reid Shepard, coming to you from Crown Field at Andy Kerr Stadium here in Hamilton on a beautiful spring day. We've had 3 consecutive days that you could actually call spring here in Hamilton. And as Ryan lost his stick but was able to recover.
Nice slide there by Bobby Lawrence, able to defuse that potentially threatening situation.
Oh. Heck of a rip there out of nowhere from Cadlick.
Is that Cadlick's second of the day?
I believe so.
Absolute laser there in the top right corner.
So Cadlick gets the first of the fourth quarter. Yeah, absolutely ripped that one. His second of the day, third of the season. Also has an assist today.
Cadlick, a senior, looks to be coming into his own at the end of his college career here. Impressive goal on that play.
So Keneally wins the draw once more, and it'll come back to Burke. Burke got hit there. Didn't necessarily like it. Though, why would he, I suppose, as the ball is fired forward. Colgate with a successful clear as Kirshner finds it.
Burke not one to be timid back there in the net. Looked like he got a little chippy with one of the attackmen. And I'll be the first one to say, I think that gets under those guys' skins, that Burke has a little bit of an attitude, a little bit of an edge. Really passionate player, and I think it intimidates offenses when they're not able to get the ball by him.
And I think definitely as a goalie, confidence probably one of the most important things he could have, and he certainly has it in bundles. Especially with the ball in his stick, as Rigo has it now and gives it to Peter Donato. Donato with the long pole on him, able to get rid of it for Rigo. Rigo switches the point of attack for Kirshner. Kirshner has some space. The slide came. He slipped. He's able to get it out to Walsh. Walsh has some space. Winds up and fires. Looked like it might have been heading wide. Ortlieb tips it out anyway. Colgate recovers.
Can't leave Ryan uncontested from there. That's within his range.
So McCann trying the really bad angle shot there. Perhaps trying to dink it in off that back post. But Ortlieb saw it all the way.
McCann, an incredibly crafty player around the net. Maybe picked a task too tall to order on that one.
Good dish out of the back from Ortlieb. Now here come the Crusaders. Low shot through the wickets. Burke unhappy there as Holy Cross back within 3. And a flag down as well. So let's see if that gets picked up or what that's about.
Holy Cross bench fired up. Looks like that goal gave them a spark of life here with 11 minutes and 7 seconds left to play.
So that's Terry McKenna from Mark Berman, 24 on the year for McKenna. His first of the day to go with an assist.
And a man-up opportunity coming up here for the Crusaders. 10-7. This ball game is far from over. Colgate better be careful here and dig in on this man down.
So bad to worse for the Raiders. And we'll see exactly what the penalty was on. You think it might be on Burke for him flipping the ball out of the net after it being scored? But I guess he's still in the cage, so it probably wouldn't be on him.
I'm not entirely sure. I wish those refs had microphones like they do in the NFL.
Yes. Would certainly be convenient. As soon as it's entered into the computer and shows up on my monitor here, I'll be happy to share that with everybody. But as it stands, Holy Cross importantly skips the face-off and is on the attack, down 3. Ball's on the turf, though.
It looks like the flag was picked up here. Oh, one goes flying there.
So another flag down. And another.
Oh, sir.
So the officials getting into this one here.
Bobby Lawrence, I think, pretty shocked that that penalty was called on him. Looked like a ghost check. Looked like he got all stick on that one, but 2 going to the box now for the Raiders. Huge opportunity for Holy Cross.
So the Crusaders back on the man-up opportunity. Lawrence very unhappy with himself down in the box there, getting some words from Mike Murphy. He looks very upset.
Bobby, an absolutely ferocious competitor, wants to be out there helping his team in this 4th quarter.
And John
Definitely
Baker
frustrated.
will join him. So Baker's going to go for slashing. So that will be 1 minute with 10:33 to go. Colgate down 2 men here. I'll get you what Lawrence did in just a second, but Baker for slashing for a minute. Very big moment in the match here.
2 men down. It's tough for any defense.
Shot is wide. Missed opportunity there.
Nice pressure there from Derek Catches to make sure his presence was felt there by Sean Wilkinson.
So Lawrence also goes for slashing. Both of those at 10:38. So still plenty to do for this Raiders D. Let's see if the 4 men out there can keep Holy Cross off the board. The Crusaders work it around. A lot of ball movement from the guys in purple.
Colgate doing an impressive job scrambling here.
There's a shot. That one is ripped past the cage. Burke thought he had backed it up. No luck.
And that's the shot you got to take when you're 2 men down with Brandon Burke in the net.
See Matt Yeager out for the Raiders here on defense. Down a couple poles. And the Crusaders cash in. 2 seconds left on the penalties. As they are both released. So almost for the Raiders. But Holy Cross able to steal one.
A lot to ask. 4 guys to keep 6 out of the net for an entire minute. Colgate man down did a pretty good job there. But an impressive display of stick work and finishing ability there from Holy Cross. 10-8.
So that was John Doherty, the man-up goal. Give the assist to Sean Wilkinson. Doherty, 6th of the season, 1st of the day.
This may be the biggest face-off of the game right here. Jordan Freeman in.
And it'll be picked up by the Raiders. So well done there. And as you said, Jordan Freeman.
Big play by Jordan Freeman there as Derek and Kevin.
Off the post there. Is it going to trickle in? It won't. So opportunity missed for the Raiders. After winning the face-off, they go back on defense.
But as I was saying, Kevin Boyle and Derek Catches both out there for that 2-man down, too tired to go. Jordan Freeman gets on the wing and makes a huge play for the Colgate Raiders defense.
Got to be frustrating for him to make a good contribution and then see it not benefit in a goal.
But now Jordan's getting his opportunity out there on defense. Just goes to show opportunity could come to anyone at any time in the game of lacrosse.
You got to be ready to take it, that's for sure, especially on a team as deep as this Colgate team. In a couple different facets of the game. Again, very young team as well. But only up 2 here, and it nearly becomes 9 as the shot is ripped wide.
Could definitely feel the intensity turning up a notch in this game. Huge possession right here for both teams.
That one from McKenna. McKenna been held quiet here, but plenty of time for him to get back on the score sheet as we hit 8 minutes just about remaining in regulation. And Colgate on the defensive here for sure after dealing with the double man down situation. This is Gall on the ball.
Great defense there by Chandler Millstone. Able to keep his guy in a low angle position, not able to get a shot off.
That one well over. I think that one flew into the construction site back behind us as the timeout will be taken by Colgate.
Matt Clarkson there, able to get a check on the hands of the attacking Crusader. Allows that ball to sail high. Key moment in this game for both teams. Coach Murphy, I'm sure, is going to want his defense to use this time to rest and talk some strategy going into this possession.
So looking ahead at the schedule for Colgate. 2 big games, well, 1 big game remaining on the slate in the Patriot League after this one. As it's a trip to, check that, the Raiders host Army here on Friday. 7 p.m. start there here on Friday night. And what is going to be, regardless of the result here, what is going to be a very, very big matchup for the Raiders. If Army wins against Navy today, then Army would be in the driver's seat for getting at least the 2nd seed. If they're to lose, they'd go to the tiebreakers, especially with Lehigh on 5 wins, and Colgate possibly could get to 5 wins as well. But Colgate with a win here would move to 4-3 in the Patriot League, secure a playoff spot, but could still get caught by Bucknell and by Navy, although Colgate owns the tiebreaker with Bucknell. And a Navy loss today would certainly hurt. So depending on results elsewhere, Colgate could possibly see themselves locked into that 4th spot at the end of play today, depending on how things go elsewhere. Certainly you want to take care of things on your own, do the Raiders. And after the timeout called there, Holy Cross is back to it.
I think Colgate might have come out in a zone here, switching things up, trying to confuse the Holy Cross offense. Smart move there by Coach Murphy, as they've been playing man the entire game.
So let's see if the Crusaders can adapt to it, and they won't be able to. Great stick there. I believe that was Lawrence once more. Able to get a piece of that ball, and it's recovered by Burke eventually. Burke got into some trouble, was able to fling it along the ground to Baker, and Baker does the same to get it forward.
Nice play by John Baker, able to handle that pressure from that attackman. Able to flick it over to his midfielder. Solid clear for the Raiders.
So with 6:40 on the clock and a 2-goal lead, Colgate has possession.
Look for the Raiders to get a good long possession here. Clock starting to become a factor. Definitely going to be in no hurry to take a shot.
And as you said, they've had trouble when they've looked and found the right chances. Not settling for shots, I think, is the very, very important part of this Colgate offense. Here is Williams. I think Williams thought about a shot there, perhaps. Here's Clarkson now. Tries the do-si-do, can't find any room. Being guided closely there by Will Weber. Here's Walsh. Walsh draws the double and is forced to back it out. Dishes to Williams now.
The ref's starting to talk about a stall warning as Colgate hasn't been able to get a shot yet.
Walsh with a big shot, just kissed the outside of the post and slides out of play an inch to the right. That would have clanged off the upright and probably ended up back on the other side of the field with the amount of velocity that thing was fired with. And the referees are going to,
looks like some clock trouble,
talk something out, so we're having issues with the clock here. 5:27 showing on the big board to our left. They're going to push it back out to 5:35. Here's Williams again. Check that foot. Ooh, forced a pass there, I think, as he was looking for Adams. And another turnover on Colgate. So Holy Cross again with a chance to cut back and get this lead down to 1. So foot with the turnover, give the ground ball to Brendan Sheehan. But again, Holy Cross has a lot of trouble today clearing the ball. They're able to do it successfully there. But they were offsides. Mental mistake there. That was Brendan Sheehan. So after getting the ground ball pickup, he wandered across midfield.
And as the Crusaders have been able to claw back and make this a two-goal game, you got to think that failed clears is going to be the theme of the game for them here, as I think now they have maybe 8. That's an incredible amount of possessions left on the table.
And you're one off. That was they're 15 of 22, so 7 failed clears. Colgate 13 of 15, if you were wondering. As we are under 5 minutes to go here in Hamilton in a very, very big Patriot League matchup. Colgate fighting to get into the playoffs. Holy Cross fighting for their lives. And you know the Crusaders aren't going to go quietly. Here's McCann. And it's going to roll out of play. Rigo tried to dive in there, but never going to get there, really. As the ball is back to Holy Cross with 4:06 on the clock. Gives a turnover there to Kirchner.
Able to clear at that time is Holy Cross.
And we'll get a timeout taken by the Crusaders. So 3:50 showing on the clock here. So let's get you some individual stats. Cadlick and Harmon 2 goals apiece for Holy Cross. Walsh has 4. Foot and McCann with 2 apiece. Matt Clarkson's got 2 helpers. Eric Foot's got 1. 1 apiece for Wilkinson, Cadlick, Berman, and McKenna. Keneally's got 11 ground balls. Chris Smith for Holy Cross has 4. Catches and McCann 2 apiece for the Raiders. Bobby Lawrence, as usual, causing 3 turnovers. 1 apiece for McCann, Boyle, and Baker, Smith, Weber, and Williams as well. Michael Ortlieb, 13 saves. So he's played very well. You can't think of a glaring mistake for Ortlieb on any of the goals. Burke as well has played with the confidence that we've been seeing out of him this season. 6 saves for Brandon Burke here today.
Probably the biggest possession of the game coming up here. Holy Cross offense trying to take on the staunch Colgate defense.
And I've just seen, if you were wondering, that Arsenal have knocked off Wigan 4-2 on penalties, so the Arsenal will be going to the FA Cup final.
Happy about that one, Anthony?
What's that?
Happy about that one?
Very much so, yes. I'm glad the a good timeout taken by Holy Cross there, so I could check the score. So Gunners going to Wembley, but that's not really important for our game here in Hamilton. 3:50 remaining on the clock. Holy Cross down 2, fighting for their playoff lives. And coming out of the timeout, let's see what they drew up or what they can conjure, or if they can get something going. It's been a game of runs here. No one's scored in some time. Last goal was Doherty on the man-up opportunity, that with 9:40 left. So just over 6 minutes. Colgate remaining in the zone defense.
Oh,
And it doesn't work, as getting to the near side, finding some space and ripping it is Clay Harmon. It's a 1-goal game.
impressive play there by Clay Harmon. We've got ourselves a heck of a ball game here. 3 minutes left, 1 goal. 1 goal separating these two teams.
So Holy Cross refusing to go away. 4 straight goals for the Crusaders. And the zone D not working for the Raiders there. And just as you said, that was one of the biggest possessions of the game. It goes the way of the Crusaders. And then this might be one of the biggest face-offs that Keneally will have faced in this match, indeed perhaps all season. And they're still tussling for it down on the turf. Keneally and Williams. And it'll go the way of the Raiders. So Keneally does the job.
Looked like he got Ben Williams there for withholding, just lying on top of the ball. Nice job there by Alex Keneally to secure possession for the Raiders.
So that was Harmon's 16th of the season, 3 on the day, if you were wondering. 2:40 on the clock, and Colgate up 1. I think too much time to try and just hold the ball and see this game out. So Colgate's going to have to get something put something on the board, I think, if they're going to want to win this game.
No, they're definitely not going to crawl into a shell and hope this game ends. They're going to be in attack mode, but be sure to be careful not to make a turnover here and allow Holy Cross a free chance to come back and tie this game up.
And waiting for the right opportunity is going to be key for the Raiders here. Referees haven't been incredibly strict with putting the 30-second clock on. And let's see. And it's on now. So let's see what the Raiders can do here. Ball's on the turf, and it's turned over, so Holy Cross with 1:40 on the clock has a chance to tie this thing.
Fast break.
And yeah, they're going to do it on the fast break.
Nice hustle in there by the Colgate defense, able to defuse that uneven situation.
So 90 seconds left. Let's see if the D can dig in here. Shot looked like it blocked off a helmet, and it's going to go with Colgate.
Bobby Lawrence sacrificing his body there for the team. Eats that shot right in the face. That Brandon Burke, anticipating that ball was going to go wide, able to dive and get that ball back for the Raiders.
So is that Millstone? It is. Millstone putting the body in, getting it into the box. And now Colgate has just about 60 seconds to kill before they can grab their 4th win of the Patriot League campaign.
Nice play there by Chandler Millstone. What someone would refer to as a strap, just a guy who's willing to do the dirty work, have these important clears as a defensive midi. Not a guy who's going to come out here and score lots of goals, but still an important cog in this Colgate defense.
So the warning is on, and it's in the back of the net. Colgate up 2. Brendan McCann from some distance out. 20 yards plus.
That'll look to be the clincher for Colgate now, up 2 with 30 seconds left. Going to have to have some sort of miracle for Holy Cross to come back and tie this up.
And a gutsy shot there from McCann. Saw the open net and took the opportunity. If he missed that, though, it could have been a very, very bad situation for the Raiders.
McCann very confident in his accuracy. Shows it there. Able to put that in from maybe 20 yards away.
So that's his third of the season. Third of the game, rather. 17th of the season. Interesting there, the Raiders going with Boyle taking the face-off.
Definitely a defensive approach there. Oh,
Burke with another save.
Nice
15
save.
seconds left, and it looks like Colgate's going to escape here. Again, barring something rather stupendous.
Colgate does not even have to clear the ball. They're just going to hold this one, and
so
a win's a win, I guess. But
the clock
nice
will
victory
run
for the
out,
Raiders.
and yeah, a win's a win. That was definitely a close one at the end. Colgate enduring the run from Holy Cross. 10-5 became 10-9. And the Crusaders, give them credit, they fought back, and they never gave up, but in the end it was too much. Colgate gets the late goal from McCann to seal it here at Crown Field. Final score is 11-9 for the Raiders. Colgate moves to 8-4, 4-3 in the Patriot League. The Raiders are into the playoffs. Still a chance to get that 4th seed. And if they do get the 4th seed, of course, that game will be a home game that will be brought to you here on the Patriot League Network. But besides that, we'll see you again on Friday as the Raiders take on Army in a 7 o'clock start. Some final statistics from here in Hamilton. Colgate with 40 shots. 13 of those were saved by Michael Ortlieb. 29 shots for the Crusaders. Gives 7 saves to Brandon Burke. Colgate 30 ground balls. Alex Keneally, 17 of 23 on faceoffs. Well done to him. The clears, Colgate 14 of 16. Holy Cross 17 of 24. 4 goals for Ryan Walsh, 3 for Brendan McCann. Seeing a penalty given to Holy Cross at the end of the game for unsportsmanlike conduct, so not sure what that's all about. Doesn't matter too much. So Colgate's in the playoffs. Holy Cross is out. And we're just about done here. So we'll see you again on Friday for the regular season Patriot League finale here in Hamilton. For Reid Shepard, I'm Anthony Tamburo. Any final words?
Thanks for tuning in. Roll Gate. Let's hope we can get a win against Army. Get this thing moving in the right direction for the Patriot League tournament.
Indeed. So again, we'll see you again back here on Friday. My name is Anthony Tamburo. Thanks for tuning in.